Hi, I'm Meg, and I'm a shamanic coach, spiritual guide, teacher and healer, and scientific fingerprint analyst. So today, I'm going to be showing you everything you need to do to create successful fingerprints so that I can read them for you. So the first things first is to get out everything you need. I already sent you with a list of instructions, so you've got all of this, but videos make it so much easier to access. So the first thing is to make sure you have 6 to 8 pieces of just copy paper that's blank, and paper towels, and some cooking oil, doesn't matter what kind, and then the ink sheets that were in your kit, and a pen. So before we get started, and make sure that you have rolled up your sleeves, you don't have any jewelry on, and you've got everything laid out in front of you because it can get messy. So the first thing I did is I labeled one of the sheets of paper, first name, last name, date, email, phone number, cell phone number, how did we connect originally, and then your signature. And the signature is just for certification purposes and to show that I have permission to read your fingerprints. So the first thing we're going to do is take some of the oil, and I've put it in a separate bowl. You can keep it however you want. This is just so it doesn't contaminate the rest of the bottle. So I just take a little bit on my fingers, take a little dab, and I'm going to rub it all over both of my hands. This is so that your skin is moist, because dry skin can be harder to read. And then you take a paper towel, and of course, against everything you just did, you wipe it off. So this way, we're making sure that the skin is moisturized, and it'll be easier to read because it'll absorb the ink. So then as you wipe it off, you make sure there are no shiny parts. All right, good. And then you're gonna take your ink, and this is actually 2 ink sheets put together. So first we're gonna warm up the ink. You're just gonna rub it between your hands. Get it going because it can be a little stiff. And then once you've done that for about a minute, you're gonna pull the ink sheets apart, find any corner, and it can be a little tricky. So now as you pull them apart, you see both of them. And just lay them down. All right. So you take your right hand, we're gonna do one hand at a time. If you have someone to help you, that's awesome, but this is if you're doing it by yourself. Take your right hand and just plop it down on the ink, and there's no wrong way to do this, which is awesome. Now we're just gonna rub the ink into that hand, and make sure you get down at the base of the palm, the very center of your palm, and then the bottom of each finger, and around your thumb. And go all the way up both sides of your fingers, making sure you get in the indentation. This is just to put ink on your hands. All right, so now you'll put that down and pull it away, and you'll see, double check to make sure you get every spot on your hand. So there's a little bit of like white up there, and because the fingerprints is what we're reading, we wanna make sure that's super clear. So I'm just gonna dab it back down and rub it in. Any of those crevices or places that don't look totally dark. All right, good. So you've got that, and now you're gonna just take one of those pieces of paper and plop it down about in the middle and just rest it naturally. So now you're gonna take your other hand and smush, very technical term, each finger down, and make sure you push on the center too. And now you're gonna pull it back to the base of the counter or whatever you're using, and you're gonna make sure you get that base of the palm and the center, because those are the places that are hardest. Like I mentioned, also going up those fingers like you did with the ink. And now we're gonna place that down and lift your hand. You should have something like this. All right, so then on the bottom, you're gonna do one at a time, and you're gonna take each finger and push it down, getting the entire top joint of the finger. So your thumb, and then your index finger, your middle finger, your ring finger, and your pinky finger. Great. And because this is very much a Goldilocks experience, if you have too much ink, then everything's dark and I can't read the little ridges and lines. And if it's too light, then I also can't see the indentations. So make sure that you can see all of the little lines and patterns, because if you can't see them, I can't see them, and then I can't give you an accurate analysis. So you're gonna take same hand, different sheet of paper, go ahead and plop it down one more time. We're gonna do the same thing. And this one will be really light because we didn't apply extra ink. But this is in case there was too much ink on the first one. And again, you're gonna pull it back and get that base of the palm and that center. And then like just now happened, if one of my fingers comes up, don't put it back down. We're just gonna put the paper down and pull it off. So that way you don't have multiple fingerprints. Now again, now you can see that I've lost some of the ink, and I'm just gonna go back and I'm gonna put it back in the ink just to make sure that all of the fingerprints are clear, and go back along the bottom, the thumb, the index finger, basically going through your hand, the middle, the ring, and the pinky. And then we will label those at the end. All right, so that's your right hand. Awesome. And then the next step is to put some oil on your hand. Again, this part gets messy. You're gonna wipe it off with a paper towel. And then anything that you don't get off, you'll just go and wash your hands with just some dish soap or hand soap, whatever works for you that you have around. And then you'll repeat this whole process on the other hand. All right, so now that your hands are clean, thank you so much for doing this. I'm excited to read your prints. I've had some clients describe this process as being amazingly cathartic, and it tells them what they've been working on and how far they've come, and it feels very affirming. It also has been said that it's creepily accurate. It's a really neat system I'm excited to share with you. So now that your hands are clean, I just want to close the process. Make sure that you make a copy for yourself. Either do an extra handprint, or once it dries, take it and get it copied before you mail it back to me, just so you have one for yourself that you can reference while we're doing our call to share with you your analysis. So the last part is just to label it. You put all of this stuff on one side, first and last name, date, email, cell phone, how do we connect, your signature, and then down at the bottom you're just gonna put thumb, a T, I for index finger, M for middle, R for ring finger, and P for pinky, just so that it's super clear what your fingerprints are. And then just in case the prints are not clear for some reason, this rarely happens, you're gonna put the two ink sheets back together just so that you can save them until I give you the confirmation that I've got them and everything is good to go. This way they can be reused if necessary. And you'll just seal them back. So that's it. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Excited to talk with you soon. Bye.